Again, Susie Ramadan, the former world champ. You heard all of her credentials. WBC champ back in 2011, IBF champ back in 2012. She also lost a challenge for the WBC bantamweight title in 2018, and now this is Cherneka Johnson's first defense of the IBF Junior Featherweight World Championship. In the white top on the right of your screen, Johnson is part of Maori descent, who is the indigenous people of New Zealand. She's just the second Maori world champion in women's boxing history. Daniela Smith, who won a championship belt back in 2010, is the first, and she's just the third New Zealander to ever win a women's championship belt. So a lot of history, again, for Johnson, who grew up until she was 12 years old in New Zealand before moving to Australia and fighting for the Australian national team as she got into her teens and early 20s.
Ramadan being very busy. She's got that in and out style. She lets her hands go. Much more of a combination puncher than Johnson is. You see Johnson taking her time, finding her range, using her jabs. She has very good hand position, keeping her hands in.
A big day for women's boxing around the world. We had the all-women's headlining card at the O2 Arena in London earlier today with Clarissa Shields narrowly defeating Savannah Marshall in the headlining bout of that one, a fight that was maybe a little bit closer than people were expecting going into it. And then Alicia Baumgardner outpointing Michaela Mayer in a split decision victory on the co-feature. A fantastic day for women's boxing overall. And now we've got a good one here in round number 2 between Ramadan and Johnson.
Yeah, like I said at the top, this fight had all the makings to actually be a bit of a sleeper or a show stealer, because both these women can really fight, and you can tell they're going for it.
A little blood from the nose of Cherneka Johnson, and you see Ramadan trying to pounce on it.
Yeah, who is another Australian fighter and someone with a lot of experience. So I watched that fight, and Johnson looked good. It was an impressive outing for her, even though she came up short.
Big cut over the left eye of Cherneka Johnson. That is a nasty cut on the forehead, Chris.
Bad place, too. Above the eye, that has the propensity to bleed into that eye and hinder her eyesight.
And I didn't see it. Did you see a headbutt? Did you see a clash of heads?
I didn't, but these ladies have been throwing a lot of shots. A cut that high on the head is rarely going to come from a punch, so I would assume that's a head. She gave the right answer to the doctor. You know, it's a very easy way out from any of these situations. You say you can't see, but she said she wanted to fight, that she said she can see, so the fight goes on.
And now she's the aggressor here in round number 3. And I don't know if you caught it, Chris, but it sounded like the ringside physician wanted to stop the fight, and the referee asked, "Do you want to give it a test? Do you want to?" And the physician took a long look and thought about it hard before allowing this third round to begin. And not even halfway through the third round, and the blood continues to pour out of the forehead of Cherneka Johnson.
Watch here when you're going in close.
You know, I'm glad this fight is going, because I feel like it was just heating up. Both these ladies have been landing a lot of leather.
Keep your head up. Keep your head up.
It was a good exchange at the end of round number 2 after the headbutt.
I think Ramadan's is fighting a very good fight. She's being busy. She's overwhelming Johnson a little bit, especially taking advantage of the fact that she might be hindered in her sight.
The wide-eyed glare of Cherneka Johnson, just trying to find some visibility. Title that Johnson has in her first defense of the belt against the former champion Ramadan. A good overhand right by Ramadan, targeting that forehead and that gash.
I like what Johnson's doing here. She came out with a stance like she needs to be in control. She needs to be the boss. She's coming with that high guard, coming behind that left jab. She knows that the clock is ticking on that cut, and she needs to put some rounds in the bank.
Ramadan, you heard, and a no knockdown push. You heard a moment ago Ramadan getting warned for punching in the back of the head. And a push from Johnson there, and Ramadan pops right back up. Good combination from Cherneka Johnson.
Cherneka's getting that upper body movement. I think she started a little slow those first 2 rounds, was a little overwhelmed by Ramadan, but now she's asserting her will and her physical strength.
Chris, does the game plan change when you're fighting someone who has a cut like that?
As the person who's not cut?
Yes.
Yes, you want to move towards that eye, because if there's kind of any kind of eyesight hindrance, you want to move that way. You want to try and land that punch that she might not be able to see, because at any point a drop of blood can hit that eyelash or that eyeball and cause them to blink, and it's the punch you don't see which is the one that hurts you the most.
And it's now 2 rounds in a row now where that Vaseline has lasted about 10 seconds in each round before the gash pushes it back out.
Which actually might be okay, because a lot of times what the cut man is doing is they're putting the adrenaline in the cut and then covering it with the Vaseline to make almost like a liquid bandage. So let that adrenaline...
Knockdown scored for Cherneka Johnson despite the adversity here in round number 4. Knockdown scored for Johnson in round number 4. We move to the 5th.
Beautiful combination there from Johnson. I like the adjustment Johnson's made. She's shortened up her punches. She's punching from that high guard, and she's answering in combination.
And changing her levels, too. You mentioned the upper body movement. That cut over the eye of Johnson almost forced her to get more aggressive than she wanted to be because she needed to bank the rounds. First one was for punching in the back of the head. This time for punching during a clinch.
Heads come together again.
Johnson has looked really good after a slow start in the first round and a half.
Yeah, and we got to give a little bit of credit to the cut man, who usually are the unsung heroes of fight sports. They've done a great job getting that medicine in there and stopping that bleeding.
Good counter right from Johnson, comes back with the jab.
Really like the adjustments from Johnson these last couple rounds. And you're right, Eric, it does seem like Ramadan has slowed her output quite a bit.
So recently she's fought a lot, but over the past couple of years, not so much. Good left hook coming in from Ramadan.
Nice right hand attempt there from Johnson. I would like to see a little bit of body work from Johnson. I think the shots are there. Ramadan's obviously the smaller of the two. I think it would be good to bang in that body a little bit.
2-inch height advantage for Cherneka Johnson over the 43-year-old Susie Ramadan.
Good jab there from Cherneka. Legacy moving forward. Very, very smart young man. He's always thinking ahead. He knows where he's headed, and he knows this is just part of the road.
Out this fight.
Oh, good counter over the top from Johnson.
That's exactly what her corner told her to do. And now it's going to be a point deduction for Ramadan.
Come here. 1 point off. 1 point off. 1 point off for the back of the head and turn around. Turn around. Time. Fight.
You know, and I don't think that's so much a malicious rabbit punch as it is that she's getting tired and she's getting frustrated and she's not able to land like she was earlier.
Minute to go here in round number 7 for Cherneka Johnson's IBF Junior Featherweight World Championship. Good action here as you see the mobility, the upper body movement that Chris Algieri talked about earlier from Cherneka Johnson, and catches Ramadan with the left as she was going away.
That's been a common interaction between these two, is that Johnson will pull back from one of those swinging wide shots and come back with her own hard, solid jab. Good adjustment from Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson has looked every bit the defending champion here in her first defense.
Oh, another beautiful overhand right, timed perfectly.
Going back to the well once again with that overhand right. And it's been Johnson almost exclusively standing in the center of the ring for this entire fight. And might give you a reason why Ramadan has tired a little bit, because she has been moving in circles. The fight following this one will be a fight for the vacant WBO International Junior Bantamweight title between Norberto Jimenez and local hero Andrew Maloney. Both Andrew and his twin brother Jason fighting on tonight's card as the two female fighters go tumbling to the mat.
And prior to that little stumble there, we've seen another adjustment here from Johnson. She came out firing that left jab. She probably threw 10 or 11 jabs in that first minute of this round. Oh, beautiful right hand over the top.
Over-the-top right hand has landed consistently in the middle to late rounds here for Cherneka Johnson.
Yeah, she found her timing and her rhythm, and that's I think rhythm is a big part of her style. And once she found that in the, I believe it was the third or fourth round, it's been all Johnson.
And now Ramadan talking to the referee, unhappy that she was deducted a point for punching Johnson in the back of the head and thought she was punched in that same spot just a moment ago. Not stopping at his command. She was warned for that earlier in the fight, so now she's been deducted a point for punching in the back of the head, and now a point and put her on the mat.
Yeah, no, I mean, like we've been saying all night, Johnson is the stronger of the two. She's got more power. She seems bigger, definitely taller. She's been showing power, dropping Ramadan a few rounds ago. But no, I agree with you, Eric. I don't see the power from Ramadan that can pull this out of the fire.
In the phone booth with the short left hook from Johnson. And I'll say this too, Chris, is that Johnson has seemed okay and comfortable fighting at a lot of different distances in this fight.
Yeah, she's shown a lot of her game tonight. I'm very impressed. I've watched her before. I was impressed to see her, but tonight is a whole new thing.
Went down to the body with the right hand and then caught Ramadan on the chin with the left hook.
Just missed with that left hook. Needs to be a little bit lower, but it was beautifully timed and placed.
It's the 16th pro fight for the 27-year-old Cherneka Johnson. Ramadan lands a power punch with the left hand as round number 9 is coming to a close.
There's that counter right hand over the top again, timed beautifully by Cherneka.
45 to go here in this title fight, kicking off our coverage here in Melbourne, Australia.
Good left-hand shot from Ramadan in there. Turned the head of Johnson for a moment.
Good exchange in the middle of the ring as Johnson lands with the overhand left hand this time. Mess. But really since then, it's been in control, and Johnson has fought through it and put on a brilliant performance here against Ramadan.
Yeah, it's a good point. I really appreciate the communication between the referee and this ringside physician to figure out if they could keep going or not, and here we are. I didn't think we were going to get this far.
Ramadan catches Johnson on the inside. All Johnson needs to do is weather the storm here for the final 30 seconds. She scored a knockdown in the 4th. Ramadan was deducted 2 points. 1 for hitting in the back of the head, 1 for not listening to the referee's command.
Ramadan was having a good round last exchange when she got hit with a big right hand. Nice, good combination there. That 1-2-1 from Johnson has been very effective.
Good strong finish from both fighters, and what a way to kick off our broadcast here at Rod Laver Arena.
And Brett Manson, 96-91 for your winner and